The first international conference on fair digital objects brings together 260 people across 30 countries, people from different paths of science, industry and science policy. We ask ourselves why all of these people are here. We suffer a lot from the lack of trust and the lack of reliability of information out there. We know that fair digital objects can be one of the ways through which we can address this issue. And this is why all of these people are here today.
There's so much data created everywhere with different formats, in different repositories, in different circumstances, that when you do data projects, 80% of the time to bring data together to do something with the data is wasted with what we call data wrangling. So the fair digital objects are the attempt to bind all the different data sources which you need, like metadata, like rights on data, to bring them together, to bundle them together so that this inefficiency of 80% is reduced to maybe 40%.
Fair digital objects is not only a promise on how we can deliver more reliable, trustworthy data and knowledge for the world, it's also a way forward. It's an implementation mechanism through which we can turn fair into implementable fair, into findable, accessible, interoperable and reusable data across all walks of life.
FDO can help data scientists by giving them a way to verify where the data came from, how it can be used. I think in the future we will see something similar to the evolution of Wikipedia. When Wikipedia began, it was all a bunch of nonsense with trolls editing things on the internet. And then they developed this mechanism for editing and for knowing how to trust content and for having sources linked. I think in the future we'll see fair digital objects have this idea, kind of the way a website has a certificate, and that you know to check or you see that the lock is there and that it's a valid certificate. I think in the future, data scientists and later just any users of the web or the data space, whatever it ends up being called, will know to look and to say, okay, this is a valid fair digital object. And they can easily discard misinformation and things that are just false bits of information.
The challenge facing the FDO Forum participants, and indeed all of us, reminds me of the original Internet challenge. Given many different networks with their own individual characteristics and attached computers, how can we create an integrated digital communications environment where by specifying only a single identifier per computer, now known as an IP address, it would be possible to quickly and reliably communicate relatively small packets from one computer to another.
When we think about the challenges that we're currently facing with the internet, it's really important to develop something like a language to actually talk about topics that are beyond the spectrum of privacy and innovation, but load these terms with things like the associated values of it. What does that really mean, and what do we really need to specify there? Bias in technology, for example, interoperability, but make that very tangible and visible. And I think one way to do that is using art and design to, make people aware of it in an accessible way and also make them part of something, make them part of a bigger movement, so we can make a safer and better internet for all of us.
The FAIR principles are a core element of the open science policy promoted by the European Commission. They are embedded in our Horizon Europe funding program, and they are also part of EOSC. FDOs are a promising way of, let's say, fulfilling the dreams of having all data fair, and this initiative is very welcome from the side of the Commission, and we hope also from the side of the scientific communities.
I would like to present to you the Leiden Declaration on Fair Digital Objects.
So the Leiden Declaration basically describes that we all commit to the basic concept of trying to produce machine actionable units of information. This is what fair digital objects are. Obviously not enough. So we are also working already on a commitment to action to now go further and work on the actual implementation of Fair Digital Object trials and meet again in a year from now in a similar meeting, hopefully with even more people, to review what we did and to make sure that this becomes the first step towards an internet for machines.